This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. In this EduDataWorks Master Program, in today's session, we will talk about implementing SD Type 1 in Apache Spark Databricks Delta. So we will try to implement SD1 in two ways. One is with Delta and without Delta. So with Delta means what is Delta Lake? What are the features of Delta Lake? All those things we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. So in today's session, we'll just look at how we can able to implement SD type 1 without delta plus with delta. And once we implemented SD1 with the delta, tomorrow we'll see what are the delta features, all those things. It is very, very important to know. The delta is very important concept now. Okay? So first we will understand what is slowly changing dimension and the types of slowly changing dimensions. Slowly changing dimension type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3 and so on. You have many, but most important dimensions that we will implement is type 1 and type 2 in our real time. Mostly 90% of the people will implement type 1 and type 2. So then we'll talk about read dimension into data frame. You know how you can read the file into the data frame. Then read source delta records into the data frame. So how you can able to read the delta records into the data frame. Delta records is nothing. Again, it's another file. Join dimensions and the delta records to get upset records. Upset records means updated records. Join dimension and the delta records to get old records. So we need to do some kind of a joins to get the old records and updated records, and we need to take up those things to overwrite it to the target to implement a SD1. And these all are same. And read data delta format dimension data. So first we will implement SD1 with the joins. Okay. Then once that is completed, then I will show you how you can able to implement the delta format. So how you can able to implement SD1 with the delta lake. Okay. So there is a merge functionality. I'll show you the syntax that you can able to use to implement the SD1. But my first question to all of you is, what is dimension and what is slowly changing dimension, and what is the slowly changing dimension one? So these three questions, anybody know answers for these three?
Dimension is attributes of business measures like profit, revenue, where we have the general information like customer information, employee information, product information.
So remaining people don't know what is dimension.
In transactional database, whatever is the everyday basis, we update some data, kind of like transaction. That is the fact, and the dimension is just as the other person says, customer information, or maybe the all like different types of information which is not updating, not updating everyday base. It's updating everyday basis, but not like sales or money basis. It's just like a certain type of customers not updating every day, right? So we're keeping everything in the database.
Correct. So basically dimension is something I cannot say 100% static, but it is not going to update every day. It is going to update very rare. Example, some of the dimensions we will take. So some are dimension means some are completely static. which never change. Some are slowly changing. But ultimately, dimensions means which cannot change very, very frequently. Okay, example, if we take, you will understand. Calendar. Calendar dates are fixed, or are we going to update? Calendar dates are fixed, or are we going to update? It's a fixed, right? So calendar is a dimension. Okay, next, customer. It may change like very, very infrequently, like meaning we are not going to change the customer details regularly. Example, I went to the bank and I have registered, like I have opened a bank account. Now, maybe if I lost my mobile, right? If I change my address, or in other cases, I'll just go to the bank for every 6 months or 1 year, every 1 year, or after every 2 years. I'll just change my phone number, or I'll change my what else? I'll change my address, something like that, right? So whatever details we provide in the bank or in any other systems, those details we are not going to update very frequently, like customer details. Okay. So now we have two dimensions you understood. Let me give you a few more dimensions examples so that you will be able to understand what is dimension. Next, products. Okay. Now product. Now product is nothing but you will have a laptop. So in product dimension, you have a laptop, and you will have a laptop, the configuration details and the cost, right? So that product details also will not change very regularly. So whenever price is changed, so price may be updated. Now this is nothing but a dimension. Okay. Now we talked about a calendar, customer, and the product. Now we have something called fact. Fact is nothing but it will have the measures, and it will have all these dimension reference points. Okay. Now suppose I want to understand when particular customer has purchased what product. Now what you need to do, you need to join these three dimensions. Okay. Customer Rama purchased a laptop, product is laptop, on what date? The date is maybe November 16. Okay, maybe date is November 16. So like that, what we need to do is we need to join these all dimensions to derive the fact. So in the fact, you are going to tell, is this a first product purchased by this customer? Is it not a first product purchased by this customer? Okay. And total spends in this particular year for this particular customer. All these calculations we will do it in the facts. Got some idea, friends? What is dimension and what is fact? With some examples. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Some more examples if you want for the dimensions. Like if you go to DMart and all those things, those locations for those DMart, Reliance Fresh, or whatever, Big Bazaar, whatever you talk about, all the store name, all the store locations are fixed. Okay, all the store locations are fixed, isn't it? So that is also, the store location also can be maintained as a separate dimension. Any other questions? Fine. Let's talk about here. As the name suggests, SCD allows maintaining changes in a dimension table in the data warehouse. So SCD, what is the meaning of SCD? Slowly changing dimension, meaning dimension is going to change, but it's going to change slowly, meaning it is not going to change frequently. There are dimensions that gradually change with the time rather than changing on a regular basis. Instead of changing continuously or regularly, it is going to change gradually over the like changes with the time. When you implement SCDs, okay, when you implement SCDs, you actually decide how you wish to maintain historical data with the current data. When you implement SCDs, you actually decide how you wish to maintain historical data with the current data. Got it? So meaning you want to maintain your historical data plus current data, or you want to maintain only current data. So now you may ask, what is history, what is current data, right? So example, one Rama is currently living in a Hyderabad. Okay, that is the current record. Now, like let's say this is the existing record. Today he said like this record came January 1st, 2021. Now same Rama came and he said, hey, no, like after pandemic I'm moving into the Bangalore. So the location for Rama is changed from one Rama Bangalore. Now historical record. Now can you tell me what is historical record here? What is the current record here?
So that he was when he was in Bangalore, if we want to use it as a current, that means Bangalore, and wherever he's going to the next place. So if you want to keep the record for the past one also in the table, so that's type 1, which is keeping the historical data.
Okay, see here historical record means one Rama Hyderabad. That is the previous record, right? That is historic. The currently he is in Bangalore, so you can say one Rama Bangalore because he is moving to Bangalore today. So from now you can say current data for that particular customer is one Rama Bangalore. History for him is one Rama Hyderabad. Now, do you want to maintain two records or you want to maintain only today record? So if you want to maintain only current record, that is one Rama Bangalore, that is nothing but you can achieve it using the SCD1. SCD1 will have the current record. Where is customer currently located? That information only you will have in the SCD1, slowly changing dimension 1. So what is slowly changing dimension 2? Slowly changing dimension 2 means it will have history. Okay, he was in Hyderabad from January 1st to November 15th. From November 16th onwards, he moved to the Bangalore. So that entire information will be there. So it depends on the client's need. We need to maintain history or we need to maintain only current data, that we will decide based on the dimension, based on the client requirement. Clear? What is the difference between SCD1 and SCD2? So dimensions present within a data warehouse. Commonly used dimensions are customers, calendars, products, and so on. So types of slowly changing dimensions are SLD0, SLD1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think these are the different types of slowly changing dimensions are there, but mostly 99% we will use SLD1 and 2. So some people rarely implement the other dimensions. Slowly changing dimension type 0 means it will not allow any changes once the dimension is created. That is example is calendar. Okay, we will not make any change. Slowly changing dimension type 1. New data overrides the existing data. New data overrides the existing data. One Rama Hyderabad was the old data. Now we have a new record, one Rama Bangalore. What is happening? Old data we are overwriting with the new data, meaning now one Rama Hyderabad will replace with one Rama Bangalore. Update new records with old record directly. Yes, old record will be removed and the new record will be updated. This keeps only current data, does not maintain historical data. So SCD1 will not maintain historical data. SCD2. So sorry, this is SCD1 only. So your example, if you take these are historical data, this is incremental data, meaning this is already existing. This is a new data which is coming. Can you tell me, to Rama Srinu, he was in Hyderabad. Now he is moving to where? He is moving to Bangalore. Next. This is the fifth record. He is a new customer is coming. Now, when you compare matching records are 2. So 1, 3, 4 are the old records which does not change, which has not changed. Fifth is the new record. Now 1, 3, 4 are the old records. 2 is the updated record. 5 is the new record. Now SCD1 means you need to overwrite the second record, which is matching record. Okay, 2 you need to override. You see here, when you override one Rama, so you know Hyderabad to Bangalore, it has moved. Okay, you can override. That's how you can able to implement the SCD1. Let's move on to SCD2 now. SCD2 retains the full history of values, like entire history it will maintain. When the value of a chosen attribute changes, the current record is closed. A new record is created with the changed data value, and this new record becomes the current record. Yes. So as I mentioned, old record is 1 Rama Bangalore, and a new record is old record is 1 Rama Hyderabad, new record is 1 Rama Bangalore. So old record will be inactivated and new record will be activated. Each record contains the effective time, expiration time to identify the time period between which the record was active. So you have that complete information from which time to which time he is, what time to what time he is in Hyderabad, what time to what time he is in Bangalore. Complete information will be there. Slowly changing dimension 2. So you can see your history. He is active means these are the active records. So Rama is currently in Hyderabad, Krishna is in Delhi. Now again, so matching record, sir, 2 is matching record, okay, 5 is new record, 2 is updated record. So now you see, now in SCD2, you see here 2 records are there. So are you seeing here? So this is the end date, but you can see here he is active. This is the inactive record, meaning Rama was there in Hyderabad from 2019 first to 2025 first. Later onwards, he moved to the Bangalore. Clear. So now currently, Rama is having 2 records. Now I want to know where he is staying currently. You need to look at his active flag. His active flag is what? Meaning he is active at the Bangalore location. That's how you'll have historical data elements here. Clear? Can I move on?
Malaya, here, so here we are using timestamp as well as flag. So anyone is enough, right? So for maintaining the or finding the latest record or order.
No, I did not get your question. Timestamp at the.
See, here we have a start time and end time, as well as we have a flag also, is active flag. So for finding the latest record, whether the record is old, latest or old record, right? So we need any one of mechanism is enough, right? Either timestamp or flag is enough.
No, you need to have both. See, you should not focus on can I find a active record based on start date, end date, all this. The purpose of these start date, end date, is active is unique. Is active column is added in SCD2 to identify the historical data and the current data. Similarly, start date and end date is added in SCD2 to identify from what time to what time he is in this location. So I can able to identify means you can able to identify, but the SCD2 rules you need to follow to implement it. To implement SCD2, you must have a start date, end date, and these are yes. So if you simply, I just wanted to know, I want to implement the logic without following any rules and all those things, you can do that and you can able to find which one is active.
Himalaya, one question. So if it is in a denormalized table, right? So we are using here customer ID as a primary key, which we don't care. If it is, we do have a normalized or any kind of we care about create the primary key here. So is it we create a separate column?
Everything you will come to know in practicals. I have generated the hash key. You will come to know how I have generated hash key. In practicals, you can see all these things. Any questions, friends? Any other questions anybody have? Okay, and if no questions, let me move on quickly. Read dimensions into data frame. See, I have a data. The data I'll just read it into the df underscore target. Okay, let's imagine this is the target data. Okay, so when I am like first time, you'll have two types of loads, right? If it is historical data, meaning it's a first time load. First time load means you can simply like for your customer ID, customer name, customer score, order ID. If you have these 4 columns, you can add updated date and hash value, and you can write it into the target. Hash value, how to generate, you will come to know. We already discussed what I need to explain. We already discussed, right? Hash value, how to generate CRC32, MD5, SHA1, SHA2, how we can able to use all those things to generate hash value. We already discussed. So we are just going to use that to generate the hash value for this 4 columns. Based on these 4 columns, I will generate hash value and I will put it here. So now I will have a hash value. Updated date is nothing but I'll just use current underscore date with the column update underscore date, comma current underscore date, which generates the current date. So that's how I will form this entire output. So if it is historical data, I can overwrite into the target. If it is incremental data, incremental means so already data, some data is there in the target. So I am getting some new data from the source. Now, when you have already data in the target, you are getting some data from the source. Now you need to compare. So from the input, whatever data is coming, any record is already available in the target. If it is already available in STD1, what we need to do? If the source record is available in the target in STD1, what we need to do?
What was the question?
Question is, if the source record is available in the target in STD1 with some update, what we need to do?
Need to update from the source to the destination.
We need to replace the text. We need to update it. Okay, fine. So this is the data and read source delta record. So these are the incremental data. Okay. So in incremental data, again, see here, I'm just reading the data. I'm taking the columns df dot source dot with column updated date, current underscore date dot with column hash underscore value, CRC32 of concat of calls. All these columns I'm passing df underscore source one dot show. So when you show it, you can able to see these are the new input records. Now join dimensions and the delta records to get join dimensions and delta records. So first what we are trying to do is I am trying to check the customer ID and hash value is matching. If the customer ID and hash value is matching, which means same record which is there in a source, okay, is coming to the target. You got it? The same record which is there in a source without any update. The same record which is there in a target, same record is coming from the source without any update. That is the meaning of this. If the customer ID is matching and hash value is also matching, which means what is that? Hash value same means so target set, source set, hash value same means same data is coming, because if we have a same data, hash value will generate same, right? So target set, source set, hash value is matching, customer ID is matching, which means that so there is no update in that record. So such type of record we should not take. Then we can skip that record, right? We have to skip that record. So for that I am using a left anti. Now what is meant by left anti join? You need to tell me now.
Unmatched record from the left side table.
Good. So unmatched records from the left side means now can you tell me, will it have updated records and the new records, or it will have all the
So those are the it's having some data it's having some new data, means a few fields has been updated.
So there are two types of data is possible. One is record which is there at the target side that may come maybe with some update. Second possibility is record which is completely new will come from the source. Okay, those two are possible. So those two things we will take it from this. Okay, so this is the source and this is the target. Now you can see here, this is the source, this is the target. When I do a left anti, so first let's check 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3 is matching. Okay, 1 2 3 is matching. Let's compare the hash value. One hash value is 28, here 3 7, meaning it's not matching. First record is not matching. 2 and 19754, meaning 2 is completely matching. Okay, 2 is completely matching. Just 3 is not matching again, meaning only this record is matching. Now left anti means source side, except the second record we are going to take 4531. Now you can see 4531 means I think this is our source and this is our target. Okay, this is target, this is a source. Now you see df.source, source is my left side. So when I say left anti means remaining records from this table I'll get 136. Okay, so this is very important to know. Take 2 minutes. You just think and let me know if you have any doubt. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please think and let me know if you have any doubt. Any questions here? 136. Okay, because this is the target, this is the source. So 136 we are taking. Okay, now next. So same, this is the source, this is the target. Now I am trying to do df underscore target dot alias df underscore source. See this side left hand means this time this is the target. I am doing something like this. Customer ID is matching, but hash value is not matching. So 1 2 3 1 2 3. So all these are matching. Okay, but hash value should not match. Yes, hash value is not matching for 1 and 3, 1 and 3, right? So hash value is not matching for 1 and 3. So now what happens is I will not get 1 and 3 because as per the condition it allows 1 and 3. It will just skip 1 and 3. You will get 1. So you will get 2 4 5. So you will get 2 4 5. This is the left hand. Any questions? Okay, because this condition is true only for the 1 and 3. If you look at here, customer ID is matching. Okay, true condition. You can say customer ID is matching 1 and 3. Hash value is not matching. These two are not matching, meaning this condition is true only for 1 and 3 records. and 2, 4, 5 are, this condition is not not satisfying, meaning 1 and 3 are matching records. 2, 4, 5 are the unmatched records from the left table. So now left hand table will get 2, 4, 5. So now what you need to do, you need to do a union between these two. Okay, this is one join with the source, with the target another join. Okay, these two. Now first you got like this, and second you got like this. When you do a second join, when you just do these two joins, these two you need to union. Okay, this is the first result, this is the second result. When you do df underscore upsert dot union of df underscore world, you will get a target of all these records. This is the SCD one using the joins. Any questions? What union will do? Union will just combine these two things and it will put it. That's it. Okay. Next, let's move on to the delta. So this is the source data. Okay, and I'm writing into the target as a what format you see here. df dot write that mode of override dot format of what? What is this? We discussed or we have not discussed? What are the different formats we discussed as of now? Tell me at least. Okay. So we discussed different file formats like CSV, Parquet, Works, Excel, XML, JSON, all those things. But Delta we have not discussed. This is the new feature. So you can write data as a delta. So if you want to implement a dimension SCD1 or SCD using Delta Lake, your target must be written as a delta. So I am writing the source data as a delta format into the target. Okay. Once that is done, you can just read it and you can see this is the data available. Now read source data. Okay, you are going to read delta table, something like this. Then delta table dot merge with source data, whatever incremental records are coming, those incremental records you need to compare. So when you just match with customer ID, the customer ID is matching. Example, Rama record was there in the target, same Rama record is coming from the input. Then the condition will match or not? Yes. When matched, update. We need to, when the condition is met, we need to update it. When not matched, we need to insert that record. Example. So Krishna record was not there in the target. That is only coming from the source, which is a new record which you need to insert. But if it is a matched record, you need to update it. These two statements you need to do. That's all. Very simple. We have something like this. Here, if you look at your customer ID, which customer ID is matching? In our case, which customer ID is matching? 136245. So nothing is matching here. So what happens is everything will go as a new record. Everything will go as a new record. This is a source record. Example, if you consider this is a source, this is a target. Source 136 are not available in the target, so 136 will be inserted into the target. That's all. If any record is there which is matching, then that particular record will be updated. Okay, so finally let's move on to the Databricks notebook. Remember yesterday we created mount point for storage. Let's create. This is very important. So already mount point is available for cloud-based storage 1511. Let's open that storage here. Cloud Pandit container was there. Fine, okay. Let me just delete all these things. I now come here. So what is this? Nothing. This is a parameter. This is called a parameter. So you can see here load type. The parameter name is load type, and the value is we are not passing anything. But here how it is showing incremental, because I have typed it manually. That's why it is showing incremental. Basically, when you execute this, so you are not providing any default value. So now for load type, you are passing this incremental. So now when I access load type, when I print load type somewhere, what value I'll get? Incremental I'll get. Okay, good. Now you see spark.reader format of CSV header equal to true mnt slash output slash source data. So what is the source data? This is source data. Okay. Now what you can do, just download this. I just downloaded this. Let me save as. One second, this is not AD, right? The source data.csv that I can upload into the storage. Okay. Let's upload. Source data.csv I am uploading into the source data folder. I'll create a subfolder called source data. And into that folder, I'm uploading the data. And this is the source data folder. So from here, this is the source data folder. Now you can just read this data. So I'm able to read the same data again. Okay, from this path. You know, right, how to read the files. Now, what I'm trying to do, df underscore source with column, this is a hash underscore value. CRC32 I'm generating based on the df underscore source dot columns. What is df underscore source dot columns? Okay, so last time also I was showing you, let me show you once again what happens if you are not passing simply CRC32. See, 1 only 202. So this is how data, entire data is connected. For this also 2 ABD 40 anything. Like that, the entire data will be connected. Based on this, we will generate the CRC32. I just put here CRC32. Execute this. Now you can see I'm getting the CRC32 value. That is the hash value. Okay. This you can call it as a surrogate key basically, but here I mentioned the hash value. So this particular data, this is the source data. Is it a first time we are writing the data into the target? Are we writing first time data into the target? Are we writing first time data into the target? If it is a first time, then this is not a incremental. This is called history, isn't it? History load. Okay. So now I am going to execute this. Can you tell me what is the load type? What is the load type we are passing currently?
History.
I'm passing load type is history. History is equal to history, yes. Then my source data, that is nothing but this. I can write it into the target, that is nothing but a target data. If you want to add the load data and all those things, all those extra columns, we can still add this. Input all those things, like not the start date but created on. So all these metadata you can keep adding. Created by. These extra columns, if you want, you can keep adding. Okay, fine, not a problem. Yeah, here created on and created by. Databricks. Similarly, updated on, updated by. So these kind of a metadata columns will have. You can maintain them. Updated on, updated by Databricks. Okay, from which service it is updated, when it is updated last time, when it is created this record, all that information will have along with the hash value. Now let's execute once again. All should be column, all should be column, all should be column, where it is. Current underscore data is file. Databricks, okay, this should be a lit you need to put because it's a constant value, literal, right? So that may be the problem. Lit. This is a unit input. Lit is also a function that you need to input execute. See now, properly records are there. These four are the actual data. Hash value, that is nothing but a surrogate key. So if you want to change it as a surrogate key, now it's a time to do it. Surrogate key, you can just mention it as a surrogate key and execute once again. You can see here custody, cust name, cust score, already surrogate key created on, created by, updated on, updated by. So all these things we can able to see here properly. Okay, now see this hash value. If you want to update, just to do a replace all hash value to surrogate key. Let's do that, because instead of changing at one place, let's replace everything. Replace option. Find and replace. Put the hash value wherever you have. Surrogate key. Replace all. That's all done. Okay. Now you can see it is coming as a surrogate key. Execute this. So this is our first data. Is it an incremental or history? History means first time load. If it is a first time load, you don't have any data to compare with the target. Okay, what data is there in the target and all, we cannot do it because we don't have any data. Okay, so even if we have some data, we are going to overwrite. That's why if it is a history, if the load type is history, directly write the source data to the target. You write the data into the target as a Parquet format, and you can say history load is finished. Just execute. So you don't need to execute one by one cell. When you have history, just do a, yeah, you can simply do a run now. Now what happens if this notebook is designed in such a way that if it is historical node, it will do the history load and it will stop it there itself. Execution will stop there itself. See, all other comments are skipped because what I'm trying to do, if it is historical data nodes, I am just loading the data into the target, then I am coming out of the execution. I'm stopping the notebook. I'm exiting from the notebook. So this comment is very important. In many interviews, people ask me how you will exit from the notebook. How you will exit from the notebook. Many interviewers ask me this question. Please carefully hear. So if it is historical data, I have overwritten. That's all. Now what we need to do, like let's imagine there is a new data, okay, and what I do is incremental data. Okay, incremental means first, now you have written the data into the target. Let's see whether we have written the data into the target or not. So target data, inside it you can able to see data is available. Now from here, so you read the target data, what you have written into the target. See, this is the data I have written into the target. Okay, this is the data that I have written into the target. Now let's come from the again from the beginning. You need to come. Okay, to come from there. 1 second. One thing I wanted to do. 1, 2, 6. Okay, not a problem. Let's do like this. This is the source data, right? Now you do one thing. This is the source data, and I am going to update Kohli. Okay, this is the first file. Okay, remember. I'm taking same data and I'm creating a new file now. Put this here. So I'm going to update few records. Example. So for Kohli, this is the existing record. I'll change Kohli score to 250 is the highest score or whatever. Okay. And to whomever you want to put, you can put Ashwin. Spelling okay, I did not working. 150. This is some 5. 3. 3. So can you tell me out of this, how many records are updated? How many records are new records? And one more thing I want to do. So record I'll just bring as it is and I'll keep it there. Once again you check here, so record is the exact record. Same record without any change, I'll add it in the next here. Oh, yeah, this one I add. Now can you tell me out of this four, how many updated, how many new records, how many updated records, how many old records? Okay, one new record. Sorry, let's put like this. We are confusing here. Can you tell me now how many are updated, how many are new, how many are old records? These two are completely new records, friends. Remember, these are new records. This is updated record. This is the old record. This is also Same record is coming without any update. Sixth record is coming, same record without any update, same as it is. Kohli record is existing record, but it's the spread first score is updated. 20 to 33 are the new records. Okay. Now what we need to do? Let's save this data now. Okay, second day data. Let's put it in the storage. Let's upload. Now what happens is in the source data, this is the source data, right? Let's upload second day data. Okay. Now you come here. Now you can see here it's a here itself it's a second day data. Second day dot csv. It's a second day data. Now when I do it, what happens is, see, from now let's focus here incremental loads. Incremental loads, yes, I'll get it incremental. I'm reading the source data, you just read the source data. Okay, and add all these columns, all metadata columns you added. Okay, this is the new data, and this will execute. It will not execute. It will not execute because condition is false now, because road type is not history. Now come here, and this, if you execute, this is the target data. Now what you need to compare is, you need to compare these two data sets. 1 to 6, here 1, 6, 22, 33. So these are the new data, this is the old data. So now we need to do a join. If before we do a join, let me make very clear to all of you. What I will do is, this is what, this is the old data, isn't it? This is the old data. This is the here. So now you see, this is the new data, this is the old data. Now can you tell me out of which record is unchanged record? This is the source, right? 6, 6. Hash value compare 133405811. Yes. So meaning ID is same, surrogate key is same, meaning there is no change at all. Meaning the sixth record is, there is no change. I can ignore this one because already the same record is there in the target. I don't need to do anything. Next, one is matching, but surrogate key you see here 2400 here 23123 something, meaning surrogate key is changed, meaning the source data, source record is updated. Next, 2233 which are not available in the target itself. So these two are completely new records. These two are new records. This is a updated record. This is a unchanged record. Okay, that's what you should understand. Now come here. Now you see df underscore source one join with customer ID and surrogate key. If based on these two columns when I join, so which record will match? Which record exactly match? This sixth record will match. The sixth record will match. Meaning left anti means what? Except matching record, you need to take other records. Meaning 1, 22, 33. I'm going to take it. Okay, let's execute this. We'll get a 1, 22, and 33. We'll get it. Very good. Now you see 1, 22, 33. I'm taking good. Next, this time target is source level. Okay, target joining with the source. Custody should match, but surrogate key should not match. Now come here. This is a target. Based on target, you need to check here. So what I'm saying is Customer ID should match. Yes, customer ID is matching. But surrogate key should not match. Yes, surrogate key is not matching, meaning this record and this record is the match records. Now left hand means unmatched records. Okay, unmatched records are what? From this table, unmatched records are 2 and 6. So I am going to get a unmatched records from 2 and 6. Now you see 2 and 6 unmatched records I am taking from the this target. Okay, now go back to this Excel and you see 2 6 are what? 2 6 are unchanged records. 2 6 are unchanged records we have taken now. Earlier, what all records we have taken? 120 to 33. These are updated and new records. Updated and new records we have taken. Now this is the set 1, this is the set 2. So 6 record already available in our target. One is also having in our data, but one is having a updated data. So we have considered updated. Old data we are ignoring. Yesterday one will ignore old data. Yesterday two will take up that data. Now once you have done this, you need to union this set you need to union to get a final result. So you see df underscore upsert, that is nothing but this one, df underscore upsert unioning with the df underscore old data. So df underscore upsert union with the df underscore old, and you'll get a final data frame. So you can say 122, 33, 2, 6. So this is the final data frame. This final data frame, what we need to do, we need to overwrite into the target as a Parquet format. You're not using a CSV format, we need to write it in the Parquet format. Okay, we are writing data into the target in a Parquet format. Okay, done. Now come here and you can read once the target data, whether the data is correctly written into the target or not, SD1 is implemented or not. From target, see from target part I'm reading the data. See, these 5 are available. Clear? This Kohli record, if you updated yesterday, so you will see these things. Like these updated columns, all those things you will see.
Actually, you overwrite, right? That 6 also will be lost.
Why 6 will lost? 6 is same, right?
Yeah, same, but you have only 4 records in previous data frame.
4 records. Here, tell me what is your doubt?
Yeah, 1 to 33.
Hmm.
And 6 also is there in your data frame. I'm not sure. Number 6, custody.
Yes, that is a duplicate record, right? Same record is coming again. Why you need to consider same record? We need to ignore that. See here, already this is our target. In our target, we have this record already. Same record is coming from the source. We need to ignore. That's what we have done.
No, I got it. What is my question, right? Earlier, any table, all the three records are there. If we rewrite, right? What is that? Overwrite, all the data will be lost, and the 5 records, whichever you're using, it will be only loaded.
Yes, yes. That's what is going to happen.
Okay, got it. So 6 also will be there. Okay.
Any other questions? Fine. Now let me quickly implement the. So you see here. Now what I will do, I will quickly do a small change in the data. Just delete this small point. I will repeat. Wait for 10 seconds.
Question? Hello?
Yes, tell me.
If the target has a data, for example, ID number 2 is present in target, but someone deleted in the transactional database, in that case, it should be deleted. Is it? Both, like,
No. See, example here. One, suppose 2. Second record is not coming from the source. We are not deleting as the from source to second record is not coming. We are not deleting because example, let's imagine something like this. 3 people opened their bank accounts. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 people. Some numbers are coming. Somehow this. Just put it here. 1, 2, 3 people opened the bank. Next day, maybe next day, this is the first day, let's imagine 1, 2, 3. Second day, what happens? Maybe third person realized his phone number was wrongly updated. He is not receiving messages. He will went to the bank and he will update his phone number. Along with him, so he will take his friend for opening an account. So 4. Okay, now what happened? By mistake, process also sending the second record. Now can you tell me out of 3, 4, 5, which are the new records? Only 4th person is completely new account he opened today. Third person already opened the account, is record already available in both the sites. Only problem is he want to update his phone number, he came here. Second record, due to some system issue, this is also coming again. You need to ignore these kind of records if the system is sending again, because there is no update for this second record. Third record you need to process because his phone number is updated. You need to take his phone number and reflect in the target so that you will get whatever messages. Fourth record you need to take up this because this is completely new record. Now you got it. So that's why whether year 1 first record is not coming on second day. So that does not mean that you need to delete the first record as it is not coming on second day. The incremental only updated records and new records will come. Like every customer data will not come daily. Okay. Sharma, got it? Are there any doubts? Fine, if you're not responding. Okay, this is the cloud fund folder I created. So now you can see. So this is the data. So I have taken manual, I have created, like I have seen what is the CRC32 value for this record, what is the CRC32 for this value. I have taken a manual, I created this data frame. This data frame I am overwriting into the MNT Cloud Pandit and the target data folder in a delta format. In which format? It is not a CSV or Parquet, it's in a delta format. Remember, it's in a delta format. So let's imagine. Okay, this is the target data. Already in the target set, this data is available. Okay, because now just now we have seen this data I have created and I have written into the delta format into this target. This is my source data again. Okay, this is my source data. Source data means, let's imagine on second day you are getting data something like this. Let me download this also. See, this is the second day. This is the second day data. This is the first day data. Can you tell me, you compare and tell me 1, 2, 3, 6. Out of which how many are matching? 1, 2, 3 are matching. Okay, good. So Kohli record is updated or not updated? Yes. 22 200 it's updated. ABD record is coming as it is without any update. Some system issue. Sehwag record again it's coming with some update 100. It is coming with the update 100 from 60 it is updated to 100 and it is coming again. Now what you need to do? What you need to do from the source? You need to consider the first record. You need to consider the third record and sixth record. Sixth record is completely new. From here, what all records you need to consider? From here, you need to consider second record. Second record, which is a same, like which is there is no update for the second record. Same record is coming from the source and I have ignored. 4 and 5 are the old records which has not changed. You can keep 2, 4, 5. 1 and 3 are coming from source again. 1 is updated with some value, so I need to take 1 from here. Because when I matched with the customer ID, 1, 2, 3 are matching. So when I just check the surrogate key, when I generate a surrogate key will match only for the second record. Why? Why surrogate key will match only with the second record? The reason is very simple, because it's the same data. So now what I want to do in merge functionality, doesn't matter whether surrogate key is there or not there. Surrogate key is not required at all. You just check here 1, 2, 3. There are 3 records are coming from source. Directly do one thing. From source, you put these matching records. And 1, 2, 3 already we have taken from the source side. Targets at 4, 5 are unmatched records. You put it here. 6th is the new record from source. You take this record. So all these things, this is the we need to bring all these things. Now you see simple. This is the source data, and I am just generating this surrogate key and updated date. But this is not mandatory to know. Updated date is not available at all here. Okay. So this is the source data. I just generated the surrogate key and I just generated the updated date. Now here I'm just reading the delta data. Now you can see this is our source data, this is our target data. Is it a CSV or Parquet or delta? It's a delta format, remember. This is the target data, whatever data I have written earlier, that is the target data. This is my source data. So this is just for preview purpose. We should not read like a data frame. It should be read it as a delta table. How to read it as a delta table? From delta.tables, you need to import the delta table. Okay. You can put star or you can put only delta table. Delta table dot for path. From which path you need to read the data? From this particular path, I need to read data using Spark session, and which gives you the delta table, which gives you the delta table. Once the delta table is available, you just have to put here delta table dot merge with the source data. Source data means here this is the source 1236. What happened? It is taking more time. The source we need to create once again. The columns. There is the updated date. Here using 9.1 uses delta like as a default table format. Still it is not good. Okay, so anyhow time is over. Let's do one thing. Tomorrow we'll discuss about delta. So today we have seen like how to implement SD1 with the joins. Right? Tomorrow we'll see with the delta how we can able to implement. I think database community is not supported for delta, but here in cluster level it is mentioned. Here we are not able to read the delta format. So what we will do tomorrow, I'll just create a Azure Databricks workspace. There we will try to implement the delta.
Hey Malaya, one last question. I'm just wondering, I heard that this SCD is really not recommended. Like many people, like many company, they don't require the SCD because it's a slow process. Is it true?
Slow process in implementing SCD where using Databricks.
Using Databricks slow is not a slow process, right? Because in the data warehousing, people don't want to use it because it's a slow process. It's just slowing down the system. So that's why instead of slowly changing dimension, they choose the delta loading.
No, this is not a delta load. This is a delta format. There is a problem with the joins. If you do joins every time, you need to overwrite.
Yeah,
You need to compare all the records.
Yeah, I meant like a merge. I'm talking about incremental loading. Sorry.
Merge functionality you need to implement. This is the recommended. Now everybody is using this, not a joins. Okay, merge functionality is not a slow. It will do like a bit faster, and it is greatly improve your performance. The reason is like you are not overwriting, you are just identifying the updated records and you are just updating them. That's all. So anyhow, I will discuss tomorrow delta link, how you can implement SD1 using delta. Then we will see the things. Okay, tomorrow we'll use Azure Database. I think it's not working here in community. We will see in Azure Database. Okay. I will explain you where like what is recommended. We also implemented SD1, SD2 using joins, but after when delta lake is introduced, so then we're using delta features to do. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.